And that's what everybody is looking for is some kind of predictive, forward-looking indicator.
The FX Morning Mayhem podcast is an essential listen for currency traders. Each episode covers a curated watch list of key currency pairs alongside insightful market observations. It highlights crucial daily news events that could influence the market, ensuring traders are well informed. Additionally, the podcast offers valuable trading strategy tips catering to both new and experienced traders in the Forex market. This podcast is for educational purposes only. None of this info should be construed as investment advice. To see the trades called out live for free on our Slack channel, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to join the trade faction. If you find this podcast valuable, please follow and share with a friend. And now, on with the show. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, March 17th, 2025. And you're listening to Forex Morning Mayhem. It's time for the daily market briefing. In today's headlines, global markets started the week on a positive note, with APAC stocks rising following Friday's Wall Street rally and positive Chinese economic data. The US Senate passed a stopgap funding bill, 54-46, to keep the government funded through September 30th. In currency markets, the US dollar remained steady, with EUR-USD holding above 1.08, while the Japanese yen slightly underperformed. Crude oil futures advance after US strikes against Houthi militant sites in Yemen. President Trump announced plans to speak with Russian President Putin on Tuesday, potentially addressing Ukraine-Russia talks. European equity futures indicated a slightly positive open, with Eurostoxx 50 futures up 0.1%, following Friday's 1.4% gain. Key events to watch include US retail sales data, ECB President Lagarde's speech, and earnings from Hargreaves Lansdowne. Stay tuned for a currency market update with Bill and Dave up next. Thanks for listening to Forex Morning Mayhem. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review if you found this helpful.
Let's start with the currency pairs. Aussie New Zealand dollar is in the zone. We are waiting for a sweet spot short to set up. Aussie US dollar is also in the zone. On this one, we're waiting for a long sweet spot to set up. Euro Canadian dollar still hyperextended, so we'll ignore that. Pound Canadian dollar also hyperextended. We will ignore that. New Zealand US dollar, no setups as of right now. Singapore dollar, Swiss franc. This is in the zone. We are waiting for a short sweet spot set up on that one. US Canadian dollar in the zone, waiting for a short sweet spot to set up. So now we're going to move on to the Back to Basics series again. Today we're going to talk about on balance of volume. Do you know what that is, David?
No.
Have you ever heard of this?
Back to basics. Throwing Dave back to basics.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. This one's actually reasonably useful. So on balance volume measures buying and selling pressure by analyzing volume flow. It was developed by Joe Granville in 1963.
Okay.
So the basic concept is that volume will change right before something's going to happen. So if big buying or big selling should be able to have a little bit of a predictive quality to it. So the way you calculate this is whatever the period that you're using is. So in this case, we're using a 15-minute period on this chart.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you do is you add up the total volume, and if it is positive, then you plot the line above the chart. And if you calculated all the volume and it was all selling, it would be negative for
Hmm.
that particular bar in the chart. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually, I use something similar.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
just don't, you know what? I'll be honest. Some of these, once you get into it, it's like, yeah, I use that, but I didn't know what it was called.
You're using that kitchen sink indicator, and I think that guy put like every single thing I could think of in that thing.
Yeah. I basically use it for the bands, but yeah, I use by volume all the time. So I know, yeah, the only thing it is a check mark.
Right.
This is also my downfall. And don't get me wrong, this is a downfall that I don't know all of this, but I kind of use it. You know what I mean?
I've been there, done that, man. So now you know.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Now you know what unbalanced volume is. Obviously, rising volumes mean that there's a lot of buying going on, and falling volumes means there's a lot of selling going on. So even if you just look right at the chart, you could just literally look at where it crosses the zero line here, especially like right here.
Yeah.
Would have caught this big run up here. Here you would have caught a little bit of run to the downside. Same with here, that going up in that direction. You don't focus on the actual numbers of the volume, but you focus on the direction that it's
Hmm.
going. That's really what's important in this particular indicator. I wouldn't rely on it just by its lonesome. I might combine it with something else to just get a little more confirmation of what's going on. But yeah, it's a relatively useful tool for the
Yeah.
most part.
It gives you a little indication of the human aspect of things. What are other people thinking? And they're selling. If other people are selling, you're
Right.
selling.
And that's what everybody is looking for is some kind of predictive, forward-looking indicator. This is better, not perfect, but better than some of the others. We'll go through quite a few of them, and so you'll understand what they all do.
That's exactly what I've been doing. Yeah, this is one of my indicators to I wanted to get the heck out of the trade.
There you go. That's all I got for today, Chief.